along with me, please welcome Harsh Shukla. He is working as a CA industrial training in business now. He was working in EY for his articles, and he is also an All India ranker trained into his CA intermediate exam. So I welcome you on behalf of the entire CA Genie team, Harsh. Happy to have you here on
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Yeah, happy to join you guys.
So the first thing that I would like to ask you is, what made you opt for industrial training and how did you get into DE Shaw? Even I appeared for interviews. I went till the last round and I got rejected. So we want to know from you, like, how exactly you got into DE Shaw.
So I'll just try to keep this answer as short as possible. The thing being that I was not as that inclined towards doing an industrial training because I was doing great at Articleship. The work that I was doing in EY was absolutely amazing. It was directly I would go to represent clients in front of transfer pricing officers or going into DRP. Even though we cannot do much since we are not CAs because we do not have an authorized signatory in our hand. Still, I would assist my managers and partners in doing the same. It was a great experience there. I was not looking as such for industrial training. I appeared for an interview in BCG. I gave till the MDP round. I did not get selected there for some reason. Not sure as to why, but I am fine with it because then I got shortlisted in various other companies. It was Goldman, GPMC, D Shaw. D Shaw was the last one that I got shortlisted into. Going further towards your question, that industrial training, at first I was not inclined, but then I made my mind that we have got these 2 years in order to experience and experiment stuff because we are not into a cycle or say after becoming CA, you do not have a line where you can look back or you can go back. "Okay, now I have experienced 5 years and now I will go back and start again." This cannot be done. But here you have just spent a year, so you can again go into say industrial training and see and explore more stuff. For your second part, how I got into D show, they maintain their standards. They just take 5 to 7 rounds of interview. Even I don't know why they do this for even industrial trainees. Even at BCG, they take just 2 rounds of interviews, but do take. But I'll tell you, as far as I know, it depends on your role, but also in any interview that I have done, I cleared interviews almost in all of them, including the partner round at BCG. It's just about how you express your articleship. If you are able to express your articleship in the best possible words, each and every person is going to select you. It doesn't matter how technically sound you are. So it does matter a little bit, but it doesn't matter on that scale because they want to understand how you did in your articleship and how you were able to solve problems. It's not about they'll just go into you and say, "Okay, if you don't know FM, then you'll not get selected." It's just about your articleship experience, that I would say. Yeah.
Okay, Harsh. Now I want to know, like, what's your role exactly and what your typical day at work look like. If you can give us an example, what is work at DE Shaw?
Okay, so I'll also keep this answer to a certain point because we sign an NDA with them as to non-disclosures and stuff.
Yeah,
But I'll
yeah, I
try
can
to
get it.
give
Yeah.
as much information as possible. So as first, when I started my industrial training, as any industrial trainee at any place, you would start getting work which is a little bit monotonous. I started with in EY and I started here as well with that kind of work. I am telling you this thing, whosoever is starting their articleship or be it any job, I am not saying this is relevant to CA, it's relevant to any job. When you start, you are going to get some monotonous work. You need to do that good, that only then will they have um, you know um, a kind of a trust on you, and then they'll be providing you some work that actually will derive value from you. So I started in the financial reporting role, which is majorly calculation of returns, working in a private credit fund. There are also some fund launches which goes on in D Show because it's a one of the biggest hedge funds in US. You learn US gap.
How does the interview looks like and what kind of questions are generally asked in the interviews of DE Shaw?
So majorly what is asked in the interviews of DHO is, for example, it depends on your role, but as I said in each and every interview, it is majorly FM, FR, and whatever you're learning at your articleship. So whatever you learn at your articleship, that is the best thing that you can give it. For example, see, my articleship was in EY. I started in EY. I did a lot of good stuff in EY, and that is what I was able to express in each and every company that I went in and gave the interview in. So this is how you do it. Even if you have done less work, try to show that you have done more work than what you have done actually. Because unless and until you do that, you will be far behind of people who are actually doing it. So yes, in the interview, what matters is how you express your articleship, how well you are able to tell that what work you have done in your articleship.
Okay. Now, toward this
Yeah.
question we have received from the audience, like, are there any skills or prerequisites required for getting into any of the industrial training?
Skills or prerequisites, I would say, is basic MX Excel and stuff is required. But more than that, it's the skill that I would say is interpersonal communication skills. Once you go into an interview, you need to have those interpersonal communication skills. Say, for example, you are not able to express the things that you have done. For example, you represented some client, or you gave some consulting to a client, or you did some anything for the client. You should be able to express that, and you should be able to do it in front of people. And for example, some person who is at a director level is taking your interview, you should not be afraid, but should be able to communicate with him well. That is the biggest skill that you need to have for getting into any industrial training as such.
Correct, correct.
Yeah,
Confidence is absolutely the key when you are in front of any
100%.
executive level people, right? Now,
Yeah.
one more question, like, how can one make their chances 100% of getting shortlisted? Like, the first shortlisting happens on the basis of resume. So, how can one increase their chances with that?
So majorly, I would say there is a resume which is provided by Boston, which is BCG, which is an articulated resume that contains, 4 or 5 subparts which can be filled in, and which is similar for each and every category. So each and every person who goes into BCG prepares the same kind of CV. So that is the format of the CV that you should be using, and then highlighting what you have done. For example, I audited a 500,000 crores company. Is not going to work out. You need to highlight 500,000 crores company, and then what work you did in that audit is more important than you auditing just the 500,000 crores company. So that is more important. Yeah.